I got asked a question the other day about where I think our profession is going, and here is my prediction for 2026 and beyond. I think we should first start out at 2026. And by the way, I should start with saying I do not have a magic wand, but I do know pattern recognition. And I look at that and I have multiple clinics that I get to study daily to figure out what people are buying, what are people not, what's happening, and all the things. So I have a lot of insight and research um, by all the clinics that I coach, and so I can tell you clinics and online businesses. By the way, it's not just clinics. I also coach online. And I think that needs to be clear. So with that being said, I believe in 2026, I believe the biggest thing that you're going to have is system, especially for repetitive tasks. You will have to have things automated and systematized to even play the game of entrepreneurship. If you do not, and continue like you've been doing things, you will lose and you won't make it. Your clinic will go down or your online business will go down, especially online. If you are online and you do not have systems, there's no way you can win because all the online marketers will outcompete you. I'm just being honest, okay? No matter how much an amazing provider you are or therapist, they'll just outcompete you. Okay, so that is the first thing that I would say is huge in 2026. Now, where do I think things are going? Do I think occupational therapy, physical therapy will be around? Yes, I do believe it will still be around because there is a baby boomer population that they're going to need us all in the skilled nursing homes. I also look at this data and, in my clinic, people would come in and pay us $3K. And you'd also have people, the same people, by the way, that would pay $30 to an app. So $3K, $30. When you looked at it in the program of it all, the $30 was the same programming that my $3K offer was. So why are they still coming into the clinic? That's what you got to ask yourself. Why? The only reason why they are coming into the clinic is because they want certainty. And so if you guys, and this is where I need you to think, if you guys can create certainty through products, through wearables, those are on the rise, all the technology wearables, those are on the rise through an app. If you can create certainty, then that is how you win the online game or wearable app game, is if you create certainty. If you cannot create certainty, then you do not win in that space. And I'm going to give you an example of this. And a good example of this is the LV. The LV came out, I would say like 9 years ago from when I first got my hands on it and actually tried it. Okay? Don't quote me on that, but, and by the way, the company is doing amazing. Anyways, that being said, and which is crazy, they also now tell the insurance company, hey, try this device. The insurance company now sends the LV device to patients. I don't know how this is legal, and says, try this over any therapy. Because they know therapy is expensive and they know that LV device is like $100. So they'd rather just pay for it and give it to the patient than them have to use their insurance. Isn't that crazy? Okay. This is where we're going though. This is where we're going. So bear with me. I still believe clinics can make a lot of money and thrive. I still do believe that. Okay. But I believe you're gonna have to find other ways besides just doing one-on-one sessions with therapists, because I know, and you guys have seen it, the therapy market is becoming, less and less. And so it is harder to find a therapist. And so this is why I coach different offers besides just one-on-one, like group coaching and other offers that actually still get the result without even having a therapist, so that you're not bottleneck. Again, no one's doing this. We have to do it differently. And so I've been there, done it, and I coach on that to allow you guys to still make money in your practice grow, no matter if you have a therapist or not. And I think that will become more and more necessary, especially in 2026 and beyond. I also think, going back to the app versus them coming in person. I still believe there will be people that will want to come in person no matter what. And I also believe that there will still be a rise in people that want convenience from their pocket, from certainty from you, meaning through online coaching. I believe that is on the rise. And I believe that people are going to want it, even if it's not in high demand right now. I have seen the trends of it with my people that I do coach online, and that is trending upwards. So just FYI on that. Again, this is just from my experience on all this. And what else do I see going forward? I believe you are going to have to automate and bot every single thing. And for some of you guys, that's not going to be in the cards, because you're either going to be scared of technology, you're not going to have the payroll to do it, you're not going to have the knowledge to do it because you don't even have time to go take those courses because you're busy taking Con Ed courses. And I believe you'll be left behind and ultimately go out of business because you can't compete with any of the marketing, because the marketing can outcompete you in 2 seconds because everyone's running 24/7 and you can't keep up. And I believe a lot of therapists this will happen to, because they just think it's going to continue to keep going the way we've been doing it. And I don't believe that that's the case. I don't. And I believe you really will have to buy into systems and automations on who's done it and who's been successful at it. We've coached other people to do it. And I believe every single person that's in business will have to have it. That's just it. I just created the only social media bot that I know for PTs and OTs to automate it all. You don't even have to think. You don't have to put on makeup. You don't have to use Canva. You don't have to use any of that. I'm super excited about that. No one's doing it. But I saw that as a problem because no one has time to do it. But we got to stay ahead. And so to do that, that's just one example of how to get your time back and not have to spend hours and hours and hours on social media every single, week or month or whatever. And not pay an agency $3K, because a lot of you guys cannot afford that, right? So instead of paying $3K, you would pay like 1/5 of the price of that to be able to have these bots. And that's 100% worth it. So every company right now is moving into how do we decrease employees, and how do we actually systematize everything so that our costs drive down and that our revenue goes up. And if you're not a company that's in that pattern right now, and you're kind of spending things on here and there and you don't really know the return, you got to rethink it. You've got to rethink it and say, how can I have better outcomes? And I think that's going to be, key going forward. So what else do I have to say in my predictions? I don't know. I kind of have a lot in my head. I do believe there will be a time eventually that robots will be us. And I don't even think it's here. They already have bots. There was just a summit in Vegas, literally as I'm making this video right now, of the top tech stuff. And robots came on stage, and it was really cute. And it was like R2-D2, and there's 2 of them, and they were walking out on stage. It was like so cute. And he's like, "Come on, kids." And they could do everything. And they could do all the dexterity, they could grip, it's truly insane. And I believe a lot of us will go into consulting on maybe these bigger tech companies and go into health tech. And if you're not satisfied with working, patient to patient, or if you don't have your own company, health tech is on the rise, and we know wellness is on the rise. I also believe that there's a big opportunity that, again, no one's doing this. And I think of, if you guys remember the girls, Katrina and Catalina, I want to say, I don't know. They're called the Tone It Up Girls. Is anyone my age? 40 years old. Okay. The Tone It Up Girls. Well, the Tone It Up Girls, I don't know, maybe it was 10 years ago. They were everywhere. They would go to the beach and do these workouts, and all of us envied these Tone It Up Girls. There's just 2 of them. They ended up breaking up, and they were a $1 billion company. Okay. And I met one of them multiple times last year because she was speaking, and I just loved everything she says. Anyways, my point is, they had a movement. They created a movement of just working. It was just beach workouts. Okay. And then they got protein and they put it in Target, and it was like a whole thing. But my point is, I believe that's the menopause movement. I believe women that are perimenopausal, and I don't, again, think many people are thinking about this, but if you can do this right and put on big events, what women of menopause age want, they want to know how you have thick hair. They want to know how you have good skin, right? They want to know how you do your makeup when you got wrinkles now. They want to know, how do you keep your teeth straight? Because they're now getting all crooked, like mine, okay? They want to know how to make themselves feel good in a cute fit because, oh my God, now they got this weird stomach bulge. They want to know how to gain muscle. And you guys are probably thinking, Kelly, why are you talking about this? Like, we're therapists. Like, we need to know, like, talk about that. But you're missing the point. Like, this is it. So if you create a culture that is all about serving menopause and perimenopause and cultivate all that, you're unstoppable, because that's what people want. And you're giving the people what they want. They want to know how to build muscle. So if you can coach them on how to actually build muscle, guys, that's the winning ticket. That's what they want right now. So give it to them. And then create like a movement like Katrina and Catalina. I'm probably botching her name. But, or maybe it was Kate. I don't know, I'm making this up. I'm not, but I'm just making up the names. But it's the Tone It Up girls, and create a movement like with them. Like they did, but for menopause. You'd crush it. You'd crush it. That's my prediction. So, anyways, these are my predictions of what the future looks like. And we'll see. It's 2026 right now. And I would love to, can't wait to go back and watch this and see what happens then, even in the next 3 years. Like, see if these predictions come true. All right, guys. Bye-bye.